Hi everyone. I really hope this doesn't take long tonight. I'm just really updating you as these immense changes keep happening. All over, I keep seeing all these tarot readers, which I've started watching a lot of them. I've just been led to do that. And the energy shifts right now are just absolutely amazing. I'm feeling them all. And I realize this is one of the things to talk about with my twin Samba, with us co-creating together in this. So, I have talked about my church experience and how I was led there. And I was really starting to feel disheartened. There's a lot of conflicts have come up between me and the people there. And yesterday, my heart shifted a bit about the nature of the conflicts. In that, well, for a while, a couple of weeks at least, I've realized I don't need to take it personally. None of it is against me personally. And I'm trying my best to hold back my own beliefs and come at them just in my heart wants to speak to your heart. Semantics don't matter. We all follow the same leader. But they look at it as because I don't subscribe to their particular flavor of beliefs, and I'm not going to be very clear on what my flavor of beliefs are, because that's not the point. They want to find a reason to divide. So they want to think that I'm bad, I'm wrong, evil, and they have to find a way to justify themselves. The other aspect is that they want to, it's justify themselves, or something else. Anyways, what came to me was everyone's in a mode of survival. And when Samba and I are doing this, we're going in there as the unification of the masculine and feminine, and that scares them. It scares them, the mantle of power I walk in there with, because I know I have my angel wings on. I know that Jesus or Mary Magdalene are often by my side. I know that I have angels around me. And because they have been in what they think is light, they are perceiving my light as this darkness. So in essence, I kind of have come to the very banal idea of cockroaches scattering when the light gets turned on, because they don't actually realize that their life is being carried out in darkness. At any rate, every time a conflict comes up, I'm always the one to make the first move at reconciliation. And on Friday, almost a week ago, my daughter was helping out in preparing for this vacation Bible school. VBS is what they call it. And my friend from the church, who knows I'm different, but she's this has been the really hard thing for me, is she was the only person to really welcome me back into the church. And there has been this rift happening between us, because she knows, she heard my testimony 3 years ago, because she's the one that asked me for it. So I presented it to her, so she knows exactly where I stand. And she was the one that welcomed me back into the church 3 years later. And her welcome, just saying my name, just the amount of love that poured off of her, and this wasn't fake love at all. And it's been a very confusing experience there, because I know that these people act in love, but then they retaliate in fear. So it's love, fear, push, pull. And because I fear you, I'm going to hurt you and lash out at you. And I'm trying to show them, don't you realize that you're not following Jesus? But I'm not actually saying that, but that's what they're perceiving. So on Friday, this gal, I'm really just going to call her my friend, my only friend. I don't have friends. God has been leading me to some information about Asperger's. And I kind of have suspected it for a while. I have my undergraduate degree in psychology. And I suspected something along that lines, particularly in relation to my biological father. And seeing how I grew up. But I just always called what was going on with my daughter and I dyslexia. But finally, the other day, I finally just admitted it's probably Asperger's. Where was I going? Oh, man. So anyways, I got my daughter involved with the church. And this gal, this is why I was talking about Asperger's, I can't make friends. And so this gal is very special to me. But I had to do what I had to do. I had to stand in the truth that I'm supposed to stand in. And so I'm letting my daughter volunteer. And I went through the proper channels and cleared it, saying, let her stand on her own merit. Don't judge her based on your dislike for me. Please just give her a chance to find what she wants. And right now, the church and service to Jesus is what is calling her. You know, can you please just take her under your wing? So my friend, I'm just going to call her Deborah. And she sends me a text message. It says, you realize that you're supposed to follow our beliefs in order to volunteer at the church. And I said, I understand that. That's why I'm not volunteering. But I followed the proper channels and asked for Selena to stand on her own merit, on her own 2 feet. Let her prove herself to them. Let them decide, please. It's between them. She kept coming at me. Deborah did. And this was heartbreaking. Really, really heartbreaking, because this is like the closest thing to a friend I have got. I don't have a twin. My marriage is in shambles. My daughter and I fight all the time, and I'm trying to rebuild a relationship with her. And out of all my relationships, at least that's kind of going somewhere. And my only friend now, the closest thing to a friend I have, is now coming against me. And I was heartbroken, but I had to stand in what I knew was right. The journey that Samba and I are on, and this is the journey that all you are on, the twin flames, we need to get past this idea that it's about love and commitment. It's about passion and, you know, the sex and whatever that defines a typical relationship. And guess what? We're here to serve. We're love. And this is mine and Samba's mission, is discovering, ferreting out these barriers to love. And so it finally makes sense now why I'm at this church. To keep confronting them with love. I'm not proselytizing to them my flavor beliefs. I'm not even really questioning their beliefs. In fact, I come at them so often asking questions about the sermons because I want to know more information. I am totally willing to come into their space and allow them to preach to me. Allow them to answer my questions. Allow them to believe that I'm misguided. So when Deborah came at me like this, though, it was in fear. I couldn't tolerate it because her whole thing was, did you want to sit down and have a discussion with me about Jesus and the Holy Spirit so you can get saved? And I'm like, how dare you? How dare you believe that you understand my walk with Jesus and the Holy Spirit just because I have beliefs that are different than you does not mean that I don't have a walk with Jesus and the Holy Spirit. I do. And it's a very strong walk. And guess what? I have a very narrow path to walk. I don't really remember what else it was. But the fact was, is in this moment, I had to defend love. And so it meant defending my beliefs. Because my beliefs now are combined with Samba. And we're working on this unconditional love. So I saw Deborah today when I was coming to pick up Selena from, or my daughter. I didn't mean to. When I went to pick up my daughter from the VBS. And I'm trying to stay out of the way. I'm trying to keep myself scarce so that way, you know, they don't keep judging her based on me. And I see Deborah. So I go up to Deborah and I lay my heart out. I tell her, you're my only friend. God led me to some information about Asperger's, which is high spectrum autism, high functioning autism, I mean. And this makes what is going on for my daughter and I, it makes a lot of sense. And so I'm going to continue to look through this and see where God's going to lead me in all of this. But I need you to know, Deborah, that I don't make friends very easily. And every day, before I go to sleep, I am thankful that I have you as a friend. And I didn't want to leave things on a note that we left it on. That was heartbreaking for me, Deborah, and I can't allow that. I am willing to come here, knowing I'm different, knowing that to everyone I'm basically considered the leper. Because it's more important for me to love, for me to connect with your heart. Long story short, Deborah and I made up. And we decided it's okay for us to be different. And that we are two very strong women. And we actually probably are talking about the same thing. And I said, Deborah, how do you know that there's not the language of Deborah and there's not the language of Pally? And, you know, that we're probably speaking about the same thing. But Deborah's language speaks to certain people and Pally's language speaks to other, pardon me, Pally's language speaks to other people. And we're both leading people back to Jesus and the Holy Spirit and God. And she understood. So I'm giving this to you guys tonight to show you that I am now seeing what this union with Samba really means. And that when we are working together and we are driving for unconditional love, no matter how many times we have to look past people's transgressions against us, that we are working for Jesus. He paid the ultimate sacrifice for humanity's sins. And we can go that distance and be willing to forgive others, to look past their transgressions against us, realize that most of the time it's because of fear and survival that this is happening. Oh, I really wish I could convey to you just how beautiful it was. But I have my friend back, my only friend. And things really are starting to change with this energy, and I am starting to realize I'm rededicating myself to humanity with me and my twin, whether it happens in the physical or not. Samba and I are always there in the astral. Anyways, good night, beautiful people. It's getting quite dark out here. I don't know if you can hear the serenation of frogs. Is that a word, serenation? I love it. Alright, I'm just really happy. I have been so very down. This has been such a difficult journey with very little joy. And tonight, for the first time in quite a long time, I actually finally feel some hope and some joy. And I know it's all working out because I managed to find love, true, unconditional love, in a very dark place because I was tenacious and kept bringing my light. And this is what you guys you twins can do too. And this is what we are here to do. We are here to serve humanity and raise the vibration of love. I love you all. Bye.